Can I bounce back, or do I have to have like a set looking?
No.
Okay.
No, this is all free form.
Okay, cool. I think that fashion is like, it's been, for me, it's been my escape. I come from the projects. Like as a kid, it always kind of helped me feel like I could be outside of it. Like it was like I was bigger than that situation, and I didn't have to look like where I came from, and that I could use where I came from to, you know, and wear it and be proud of it. And it, you know, it's just kind of, I feel like it kind of helped me to think outside of the box. And that's kind of where I feel like it's important. If you're really trying, in any situation, like just because you don't have it or have certain money, like you can still look really good and express yourself through it. Couture, I feel like it means like really expressive. If fashion could like, if it had emotion and it was really dramatic. That's just kind of how I could think of it.
How do you think that relates to Black people?
We're really expressive. We are really colorful. Within the community, I feel like we have our own individual styles too. I think it kind of goes hand in hand. It's innovative. It's like, you know, it's kind of like a, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I think that we are stuck in a box of what we're told that we can be and kind of like what we've come from. But I think that if we take what we've been through and where we've come from and merge it into just like overall high fashion or couture, it could be a really beautiful thing. But I think the issue is that we just kind of get boxed in and just in our thinking. I would be an example and be myself and be as expressive as I can be, and just let that be an excuse to do you and kind of branch out of that kind of narrow thinking. Yeah, I definitely think so. But, you know, I think that we're cool. Like, you know, I understand, but it would be nice if it was like clearly stated, or, you know, and not just only praised when it's on a certain person, you know. I feel like the most valuable thing is like the freedom to express like however you want. And I feel like I'm one of those people like to experiment with fashion, so it kind of makes me feel free. And that's the most important thing I've learned, is that you can be super free. Like you can wear anything you want and it can make you feel a certain way.
Damn, I didn't know this were the kind of questions we're gonna get. I think ever since the beginning of time, men have always been in a position of power, and it's just a habit that we've had to fight our way out of. Women were not allowed to vote. Like, we had to fight for those rights. I don't know where or why it started, why it exists, why it's a thing. Why do you feel like you're better or superior than we are? I don't know, like, why it's not a thing. I think they're trying to. I see it a lot in cinema. Like, there is a lot of like, I'm very into film, that's what I want to do with my life. And I see a lot of female directors coming up and like doing their stuff. And this year I feel like it's getting more recognition because women are speaking out, and like for some reason our voices are being heard more. And we're like fighting for it. The nominees for the Oscars this year, like it's all men except for one woman that's the director, Greta Gerwig. Like, it's ridiculous how men like just control the industry. Have you seen Shape of Water this year?
No.
Okay, so it's about this woman that's in love with like a fish creature kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I hate the film. Like, it's beautiful. No, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's amazing to look at. But she's so weak. Like, her character is so weak. She needs love so badly, and she needs to feel validated by this man or like this creature so badly that it just, I can't relate to it. I don't like it. I hate it. Like I always look up to characters that are empowering and that are badass, because that's what I want to see. That's what I want to be. So yeah, that's what I try to do.
I think that they should be. I think that they still exist in a lot of ways. I think that they're finally being challenged in a lot of ways that we're seeing more and more as, like, I think the information age and like the age of internet and just the spread of ideas and globalization of like the world. I think we get to see like the issue with stereotypes when we're more exposed to people we wouldn't have otherwise interacted with other than their stereotypes being fed to us. So I think that they are kind of dying,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're entirely dead, and I think that that would be sort of really idealistic and naive to say that they are. I think that we still have to keep trying to break them down actively to keep them dead. Oh, I'm the dramatic one.
How do you do that?
I'm the dramatic one. That's always like how I have been seen, which changed, and I think I'm sort of starting to wonder why I bought into that for so long, because it was sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy for a long time, which I think is the problem with stereotypes in a lot of ways. And I'm emotional, I'm sensitive, but I'm not the dramatic one. I think I was just going through things that people around me didn't really understand or didn't want to.
I still think there's a lack of creativity. I feel like we're still looking at the European model of fashion, so it's really no like setting them apart from anything. So I don't think we're evolving right now. I don't know. I would just stop looking at what other people are doing and like focus on what you really want inside, not what everybody else wants you to do. You have to like reteach yourself. Like you can't, what am I trying to say? Unlearn. You have to unlearn. That's what I mean. Unlearn. Unlearn the ways that you've been taught. Unlearn the things that you've seen that are like popular and what people tend to like go to, like mainstream stuff. You have to like unlearn that.
I mean, like, growing up, I never really, like, cared. But it was nothing I really ever thought about.
Yeah.
Like, I, like, grew up with my grandma, and then I had, like, a cousin. Or, like, if I lived with my dad, it was, like, girl cousins. So I was just, like, was, like, just interested in very feminine things. So it wasn't, like, well, I'm into the things because I'm gay. It's just, like, well, I like to play with dolls because I like to fucking play with dolls.
Yeah.
I'm gay because I like boys. I'm not gay because I like to play with dolls. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's just how I think of it. So it's not really like I like pink and I wear ruffled socks because I'm gay. I wear pink and wear ruffled socks because I like pink and ruffled socks. I'm gay because I like boys. I think people confuse like personality with sexuality. Yeah, I think so. It's just because personally I don't really like think clothes should have genders.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, like if you just like think it's cute and want to put it on, then just think it. You just think it's cute and put it on. It's just clothes, but I also think clothes are very important. That's just me. Like people think that they want them to look like, or just conditioned to what society has taught them, and that other people who don't necessarily care that much about what people think about them just wear whatever that they feel comfortable in. I used to wear my mom. She used to wear like those like t-shirt dresses. I used to like wear those to bed, but it wasn't ever like I want to wear my mom's dresses around the house. It was just like I just really like to wear those around the house. So like it wasn't like me putting on the dress. It was just me wearing sort of like a longer shirt, I guess. That's why I just kind of like it's really not that serious. That because like other people are like, why do you wear your mom's dress? And I'm like, or I just have on the shirt.
I feel that the way the industry's heading, it's generally a more of an outlook on uncharted water territory, and I feel like honestly it sounds a little crass, but you know I feel like that it's also a money market scheme. It could be like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like of course it's a great thing because I think it's really putting out into the world that, you know, this is what it is. This is a modern beauty, and this is what needs to be looked at. But at the same time, there is also, you know, somebody that could be using it as a cash cow. I have not actually. I've seen diversity in Nashville Fashion Week. I definitely believe that is the case. We're at like a terraform stage right now, and that basically leads for you know, an advancement of acceptance and different ideas that can be forming in the realm of, you know, Nashville fashion, and, you know, where we may not be, you know, cookie cutter by the books of something that could be, you know, very high class in New York City. We can have, you know, a generalized basis of a statement that can be more forward and directed, and it's the base of an idea rather than the overall quality and execution, which is a brilliant thing to have, because, you know, with if you're gonna put something to like the overall quality compared to this over here, that over there, you're definitely taking away a big substantial part of what is basically the statement in general. So I believe whether it comes to fashion designers, clothes models, and anything, all that, it comes back to that statement of, you know, if you form your niche, you can sell that, then you've made it, and you've made an idea, you've made a basis, like a foundation to build upon. And I believe that if we took it and we just tried to copy New York City, and if we just tried to copy, you know, London and Paris and Australia's fashion, that would not be any more Nashville. If we have like our own founding basis and, you know, our own little, you know, amoeba, or this little cluster that we have, it's gonna augment our abilities. We'll at the core be creative